Good morning. Got a little bit of a late start this morning. Um, I want to share some thoughts that are going through my mind. It's a conversation that I've had with myself many times, and kind of it came back to me this morning. It's feminine energy versus masculine energy. Now, we all have both feminine and masculine energy in us, but as a divine feminine, see, both energies have power to them. They're very powerful energies. Um, and each of them have their own charms to them. And today, in the workforce or in the workplace or in the world today, of what is considered to be success is plays more on dominantly on the masculine energy. So, a lot of women that are going to work in the workplace in the 9 to 5 in the matrix are really putting on they're bringing their masculine energy forward, and they're playing in a masculine like arena, and they are um, competing, which competition really is a masculine. Think about it. Competition is masculine, and they're competing in a masculine work environment, and they're losing because of that. Their connection to their strong feminine side or femininity. And I'm going to say that nothing that I say is absolute. But in order to make a point, I have to bring, I have to, what is the word when you take something and you like bring it all the way to the edge, like to its extreme, so that I can make the point. I know that this isn't absolute. But in the big picture today, in the world today, women are competing in a masculine world, and masculine seems to have more value. Women now are expected to expected to be providers, expected to be assertive, which also in femininity you can be assertive, but really you understand what I'm saying. And in that, we're kind of losing the value of pure femininity and kind of disconnecting from our feminine side. See, in a feminine world, things flow. There's things are more rounded. There is it's more like water and fluid. Women in their full power are fluid. They come in from underneath and and can resolve things or get results through a very soft, intimate power. As of masculine, come more from a dominating, assertive, um, rigid way of problem solving and a way of thinking. It's really hot here. I came into this. This is like a greenhouse. They are if grapes. I think that they do. These grapes are for wine. It's like a vineyard. Look at the light shining through. You can see contrast. It's kind of like the contrast between masculine and feminine that I'm talking about now. And women, when they rise into their full power, full feminine power, there's something majestic about it. This is something that I realized I was managing probably around 8 years ago. I was managing a tourist shop, and I realized that when I come into a meeting with a masculine meeting, and I'm bringing in my feminine power, the feminine power is much more subtle. It's much softer. So when I would come into a meeting and I would be soft spoken and I would speak my mind from a way of emotion, the whole room would stop and listen to what I had to say, and it would change and shift the entire conversation to the point that I was bringing forth. So there is a very, the feminine power in a masculine world brings with it something softer. It brings with it um, more balance. So when their feminine and masculine energy, when met together, they bring a balance. And what's going on today, nowadays, is that women are coming into their masculine power, and they are getting feedback for being masculine, and then this, and masculine power is also like a dominating power. It is a competing power. And so even in our marriages or in our relationships or in the workplace, we're coming in with this masculine energy. And not only are we losing our femininity in it, but we are also demasculating the masculines. So we are competing with the masculines for their masculine energy instead of embracing it and bringing them up to um, reassurance in their place and giving them respect for their masculinity. And I don't mean, there's a very different energy in dominating um, masculine energy. I'm talking about pure masculine energy. Pure masculine energy doesn't need to dominate or to disregard anybody else. I'm talking about pure masculine energy. Um, so instead of us coming and being completion for the masculine energy and regarding it with respect and bringing it up to a place of what is the word that I'm looking for? See, it's not putting it on a pedestal, but it's kind of like that, but not in a way that I'm small and you're large. It's in a way of complementary, becoming complementary, and allowing a man to fully be in his masculinity is something that a woman in her full femininity, it's like a gift you can give, and it's a gift that gives back, because when you are uh, um, um, adoring the masculine energy, then the masculine energy is adoring the feminine energy back, and it creates like this cycle of energy that is just mm. So that was just a few words on the subject. I feel like there's so much more to say on this subject. Um, and really, it's something that, because I have managed businesses in the past and I was in the workplace, and in the workplace, I was in my masculine energy and pushing, and these last years, as I've been going through this spiritual awakening, and I'm on this spiritual journey and this spiritual path, I'm learning more and more to embrace my femininity. Because my femininity, when I let go and just allow myself to be, my femininity is what comes forth, is what comes. Of course, I have masculinity in me. That way I can connect to masculinity. But when I was in a workplace where I was always had to bring my masculine forward, and my masculine was the dominant, um, it was always an effort. It was always a fight. It was always it was always putting on a face. And when I started just letting go and allowing myself to be, my femininity came forward. And because that is what naturally flows through me as a female and female essence. Okay. So to be very clear on that. And as my female essence started coming forth, I started realizing the power of it. See, a woman in her full femininity and her full feminine power can walk into a room and that power just is present, and the masculine energy stands up and takes notice. Um, so I really encourage women, if you even in the workplace, that there is a power for femininity, and there's a power in it. It has its own power, its own unique power, and it's not a lesser power than the masculine power. So even in the workforce, when when you come in with masculinity, then you are all of a sudden competition for the masculine energy. And that is what you get back. When you come in with your femininity into a masculine situation, then it's like you're playing on a completely different field. You're playing, you're in the same arena, but you're playing by completely different rules, and you uh, disarm all of the masculine tricks, because the masculine tricks don't work on the feminine power. So you're coming in to a masculine arena with feminine tools, and then you have the edge, and a lot of times coming in from a place that is more fluid, that isn't coming in from competition or trying to prove yourself, or from rigid ways of looking, add a lot of value into the situation, and a lot of times can bring a much better, clear, more efficient outcome, um, because it is coming from a place that is more of a soft place. It's like a motherly place, a place where you want to find the best outcome, a peaceful for everybody, the best outcome for everybody that is in the situation, rather than competing for dominating the situation, or looking. And there's value in the masculine way of looking as well. That's why they combined, the masculine and feminine combined, are a round solution. So those are just some thoughts that I've been having on masculine and feminine. Um, so thank you for watching.